well, don't make this a feminism issue because it's not a feminism
but
issue.
It is,
when you're going out and attacking women, you're not. I'm not done. Okay? When you're going out and attacking women, you are not a feminist.
Feminism, racism, and political double standards were hot subjects in the heated conversation between Candace Owens and Jessica Tarlov. Conservative figures like Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Kellyanne Conway are frequently dismissed or disregarded. According to Owens, who stated that many on the left only support women who align with their political convictions, she went on to explain that the black community is facing severe challenges, such as the fragmentation of families caused by disproportionately high incarceration rates, and that nobody seems to care. Owens wasted no time attacking groups like Black Lives Matter, calling them cosmetic rather than serious. Tarlov stood firm in defending liberal policies. Conflicting ideas were passionately exchanged, and the conversation was intense. Have a look.
We can all agree that things have gotten ugly. It has become so hateful. It's become so divisive. Candace, is there a double standard with women on the right, you think?
Of course, there's a double standard. I mean, it's incomprehensible and indefensible, and anybody with a modicum of decency will admit that what's going on here is wrong. I can't even fathom a world where Obama's daughters are threatened with pedophilia by somebody in Hollywood in the same week that someone in his administration is kicked out of a restaurant with 7 members of their family just for wanting to eat. We would never hear the end of the claims of racism. This would not be allowed whatsoever, and it should not be allowed just because this is Donald Trump's administration.
Jessica, your response?
My response is that there are 2 issues at play here. There's the civility issue, which is what happened here with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I personally don't think that she should have been thrown out of the restaurant. I think you can have a conversation with someone about the beliefs and what this administration is doing without denying them service. We don't deny service to people for immutable characteristics. We can legally on the basis of political affiliation, but I don't think it was constructive and it hurts the debate. The other side to the issue is the fact that Republican women want to be deemed feminists, and they want to have the same kind of clout as women on the left who are actually advocating for policies that help women, whereas the policies out of this administration actually.
Many liberals, according to Candace Owens, only support women who share their political beliefs, a behavior she deems selective feminism on the left. She pointed out that conservative female Trump administration officials, such as Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Kellyanne Conway, barely earn credit or respect from feminist groups for their service. Owens also criticized the left for focusing on matters like women's health care, while ignoring the serious, ongoing issues plaguing the black community, such as family breakdowns caused by mass incarceration and deep-rooted economic troubles. Jessica Tarlov pushed back, voicing concerns about the Trump administration's track record on women's health. She added that actions under Trump hindered women's access to reproductive care and affordable health care. But Owens quickly fired back, dismissing those concerns and accusing the left of only speaking up when it suits their narrative. She claimed that while liberals highlight women's struggles under conservative leadership, they often stay silent on the deeper problems in black communities that have existed for years. If you care about women's rights and true equality, this is a discussion worth witnessing.
Defensible whatsoever. And you sit here and you say this because you care about mothers. The basis of this is that people are upset that illegal immigrants are being separated from their mothers. Why don't you refocus some of that energy to the black community? They've been having their families separated. In fact, it's subsidized in the black community. You appreciate single motherhood. You are giving more money to families for fatherless absence. So all of this selective fake outrage when you guys do not have the same defenses for the black community is really lost on me. And it's time's up on this altogether. I think the black community has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades.
All right, and ladies, I just want to point out, ladies, I just want to point out, let's keep this civil. As I opened up this segment, there is already so much hate, indecency in this country, so let's just keep this debate a debate and keep it civil. Jessica, your response.
I believe I was keeping it civil, and then Candace told me that I wasn't a feminist. I also believe that Candace doesn't speak for the entire.
You weren't. I
said
the left.
You actually said
ladies, Jessica.
I said the left. I didn't say you, Jessica, so don't make it personal. I said the left. It's selective feminism on the left.
For 4 years, we've heard concerns that women like Kellyanne Conway, Sarah, Huckabee Sanders, and others who supported President Trump weren't being recognized or embraced by feminists. But skeptics argue they don't garner such support because they promote policies that ultimately harm women, policies that make it harder for women to prosper financially and live as equals in today's society.
Which is that we have heard this for years, that Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and all the women who work for this president and support his agenda aren't getting their due. They're not getting their due from the feminist community because they are advocating for policies that hurt women, that keep them in a bad economic position, that don't allow them to live equally in this.
The argument then shifted to Kirstjen Nielsen, who was confronted by activists and forced to leave a Mexican restaurant due to her role in carrying out the Trump administration's immigration policy. Candace Owens said that this type of public harassment is dangerous, warning it could set a precedent for similar treatment of politicians from any political party. Jessica Tarlov agreed that respectful debate is essential, but supported the Ishanduis protesters' right to challenge authority over policies they deeply oppose. Owens pushed back, arguing that such behavior would never be tolerated if it were aimed at left-leaning lawmakers, highlighting what she sees as a glaring double standard. Based on party affiliation.
Because of her position and because what is going on with immigration, do you think because of that she deserves to be treated the way that she does? She was essentially forced out of a Mexican restaurant, protesters in there. You may disagree with her, but do you think the way she's been treated is fair?
I think that what Kirstjen Nielsen did in initially coming out and lying about what this president's policy did, then having to backtrack on it, puts her in a very tenuous position.
That wasn't my question, though.
I think that people should have civil conversations about it and certainly have every right as a public official to come up to her table and to call her out on her lies and this administration's lies. If she wants to leave because of it, that's on her.
Right.
But she should be open to that dialogue with the American public who is dissatisfied.
Candace, very quickly,
this is a very slippery slope. The left should stop this, because then you're basically saying that in the future this is going to be allowed in administrations that you do support. And as I said, the selective outrage for illegal families, when this has been going on in the black community, no one talks about the fathers that are separated, the fathers that are behind bars, the fathers that are buried on the south side of Chicago and in Baltimore. So again, this is completely, to me, seems like fake outrage, and I don't support it whatsoever.
That's why President Obama had his father's program.
It was Obama's administration that sanctioned those programs.
Candace and Jessica, we will leave the debate right there.
Thanks, Abby.
Have a good Sunday, both of you. Thank you so much.
Throughout the discussion, Candace Owens targeted what she called performative activism on the left. She questioned the sincerity of support for movements like Black Lives Matter and criticized the trend of virtue signaling on social media. Owens accused liberals, particularly Jessica Tarlov, of prioritizing appearance over impact, focusing more on public gestures than addressing the real issues affecting underprivileged groups. She noted that while the left promotes symbolic actions, they often fail to provide practical solutions, especially regarding the challenges facing the LHCT black community. Instead, she argued, political narratives are prioritized, leaving deep-rooted issues unaddressed. The conversation tackled vital topics like feminism, racial injustice, political bias, and the impact of welfare policies. Owens positioned herself as a strong advocate for conservative women, arguing they're frequently overlooked by feminist groups solely because of their political views. She also criticized the left's failure to confront structural issues in the black community, including what she believes are the harmful effects of long-term welfare dependency and the collapse of family structures. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.